I usually recommend to clients that if they have another option, they not use that one.
Right.
But now the federal agencies do help with propane, and they
Okay.
help with bulk fuels like kerosene and wood.
Yeah.
We generally don't, because our vouchers, we just don't have relationships with the companies that sell those things.
Exactly. So it's
But
better
we do refer to places that do.
with electric, yeah.
Electric or natural gas.
Okay. And there are so many things like that, you know, people, you got 5 or 6 people living in one trailer or one, you know, low income house, and all these people there, and if they're not trained and showed the right ways to do things, they will fall under. You know, the monthly check, like we was talking about before, it only goes so far, and then after that, it's just, what are you going to do?
And if you're just living hand to mouth and you're not looking at your bills and things like that, you don't even understand what's happened.
Right.
I mean, you think it's just not possible to live on this much money, and yet you see other people doing it, so you know you must be, and you don't know what the secret is.
A lot of people need educated, need trained in better ways of living. That is an excellent program, the Project Learning, you know. And maybe somebody wants to ask you some questions or just come in and talk with you. Are they free to do that?
Of course, we don't do appointments unless they're absolutely necessary. If somebody needs to come in after hours or something like that, we're pretty much first come, first serve.
There's a lot of people that's watching right now by the way of TV and listening by the way of radio. No doubt they're facing things like this, and it scares people, and their first thing they want to do is find help, you know. But a lot of times they don't know where the resources are. They don't know where the help is.
Well, we're trying to sort of fill that gap,
Right.
that we can at least help people, sort of refer them out to the right places to get the help they need.
I mean, we get calls here constantly. People, you know, their electric's about to be cut off, and where can we go? What can we do? And, you know, it really scares a lot of people. But there are so many ways that, you know, we can find these people help. What if somebody's electric has been cut off, and it's been cut off for a little while? How does it all work? What's the process of getting that turned back on and things?
It's exactly the same process as it would be to have it turned on the first time, or as far as we're concerned, to get assistance to keep it from getting turned off. There's an extra expense involved, of course, which you can also apply for, but it's the same application process as
Very
if you had applied before it was disconnected.
Right. And, you know, like if people ain't got utilities like electric and water, I mean, you're just hurting. I mean, those are necessities. You have to have those things to either wash, to bathe, to cook. A lot of people, you know, can't cook without those. Like you said, living from hand to mouth or going out to the restaurants is a lot different than sitting and preparing a meal at home. You know, and you can save so much money by doing that too.
Well, and I think people don't realize, a lot of very conservative people have said to me over the years, well, you know, we didn't have air conditioning when I was growing up, and, you know, it didn't hurt us any. But we don't build to that anymore. You know, we've got a lot of elderly clients still living in the homes that they moved into with their husbands 60 years ago.
Right.
They probably are okay without air conditioning, and they've never had it installed, and because those homes were built not to be
Right.
air conditioned.
Exactly.
But if you're living in a 4th-story apartment in a housing complex, that unit was not built for you to live without air conditioning. There, you know, there's no cross ventilation. Those are places where people die of heat.
Right.
But no, I mean, it's true. If we built for it in this part of the country, 95 degrees at night, it's not going to kill you. But you have to have breeze and insulation. You have to be in a home that was built for that. And increasingly, we're not.
Exactly. And, you know, I've noticed a lot of the elderly people, that's the ones that really suffer from the no air conditioning and things like that, or young children. And, you know, we need to do our part to make sure these people are taken care of. If somebody sees some people, can they refer them to you?
Of course.
Just open door policy. So.
I can't promise that we can help everybody who walks in the door, obviously,
Right.
but we'll be happy to talk to them. We'll be happy to try.
So the process is you do the screening process, come in and ask a variety of questions. What's some of the questions that you may ask somebody, like a monthly income or things like that?
All of those things are on the application. They do fill out a very simple budget when they fill out their application.
Okay.
where their source of income, and then the big items where their income goes. How much you paying in rent or mortgage? How much are you paying for utilities? How much you paying for supplies, food? We ask those sort of just a very basic budget, so that the intake people do have a better opportunity to look at that and say, well, right here's your problem. What can you do about this finance company bill? Is there anything you talk to them about lowering that payment? Did
Right.
you?
Well, a lot of people, if they draw a monthly check and they're paying rent for like $600 or $700 a month, and then plus their utilities on top of that, and the other things surrounding, it's hard for anybody to make it like that.